Hello fish fools, Jeff here. So this is my 6-foot 84 gallon community display tank. And just had some new developments. Once again, we're going to focus on this breeder box right here. And let's talk about emerald green Corydoras fry. So these are the adults in here. They've been spawning regularly in this breeder box. I just collected some eggs and they hatched out yesterday. So we'll try to spot some 1-day-old Corydoras fry. So I already did have these others in here. There's actually 5 of these I think I mentioned when I was going to collect those eggs, when I spotted the eggs. But there were 4 in here, but there was actually 5, I thought. I saw yet another one, but yeah. So I collected some eggs. Yeah, you can see they're like little specks, so you can see movement right there. I collected eggs, put them in here. 3 days ago I collected the eggs and put them in here, and last night they hatched. Usually it takes longer than that, but those eggs must have been a couple days old already. That's one thing that I realized when I collected those eggs. 100% they were all intact. Other times when I would see the Corydoras spawning, and most of the time when they would do that, as soon as they lay the eggs, they get eaten, like sometimes even by the mother who just laid the eggs herself. But with all the fish in here, if there are eggs in the open, they get eaten. So that's when, if I would see it, I would collect the eggs like as soon as I spot them, get deposit on the glass or wherever they are. But they seem to be more delicate then, and when the eggs that I found were on the glass right here, so kind of protected, like the other fish didn't see it. So it must have been a couple days old, and I guess they must harden a little bit before hatching compared to when they're first laid, because when I used the razor blade, scraped them all off, they came off easy. If they're just laid, I try to get them off, they're like stickier and softer, so yeah. But then yeah, so there was took 2 days for them to hatch from when I put them in here, but yeah, I'm going to, like the 1-day-old fries, they're really, really tiny. I'm sure with these catappa leaves in here, I'm going to move those so we might see little specks like scatter as we do that, so that's what we're going to try to do. You may notice on these catappa leaves all these spots with little dots within the spots. Those are ram's horn eggs, because the ram's horn snails have gotten in here and laid eggs, and I would see some in here, I would take them out, but yeah, those are going to be lots of baby ram's horn snails going to be spreading in here. But I'm going to move these. We're going to see if we can see some of the fry scatter. Oh, just not a little more lighting in here. Line that up a little better. Alright. Alright, see that little I see little tiny specks scattering. You can't make them out as being little Corydoras catfish. I mean, compared to these guys, I mean, these are still tiny compared to the adults, but they're gigantic compared to the 1-day-old newly hatched fry. So yeah. How well you can see them. Scattering a little bit, but They're so tiny. But I will give it a couple days, because they do... In just a couple days you can note there is noticeable growth from how... There we go, from... like... almost microscopic. There's a ram's horn snail. Take that out of here. Yeah, so I do go from barely visible, practically microscopic, to noticeable. Like then you can, once you see little black dot eyeballs. But yeah, so we've got some more Corydoras. I mentioned before, but I want to set up another tank set up so that I can put the eggs in and let that be the grow tank, and be done with the breeder box in here. But until then, it's as it is. And there's the male Carbensis. As I mentioned, almost every time I show this tank, they have their little dug out a little cave under the dragonstone here. They're getting ready to breed. A little surprised, I haven't seen any fry yet. They've been in the process of doing that. Maybe it's because for them, it might not be warm enough, because it is about 71 degrees. For them, it might be a little cool, but here in southern Nevada, not that far away from the temps warming up. So maybe when that happens, that might trigger their spawning, or who knows? Maybe there's eggs in there, and maybe there's fry, but just haven't seen them yet. I'm waiting for the day when I see little fry following the mother as she leads them out. But maybe they keep them being kept in there because there's so much other fish in here. But we'll see. And yeah, one other thing too, I will be adding a few more fish to this tank. I have some fish that are currently in quarantine, that the quarantine period is finished, that the fish are ready to be moved to their new home. So some of them will be going in this tank, along with 3 of my other community tanks I'll be moving fish from quarantine into. So I expect I'll be doing that this weekend. So stay tuned for that. Alright, and that's it for now. And remember, I'm Jeff, and I enjoy fishes. Thanks for watching.